This is not your typical art video on my channel. Just gonna give you a little disclaimer. Hey guys, what's up? I hope you're having a great day. We are doing a bullet journal video today. It's pretty exciting. I've never done one of these before, and I'm starting at probably the wrong time. Everybody else that I've seen on YouTube started at the beginning of 2017. And here I am, it's like going on mid-February. I'm like, hey, let's do this. This is a minimalism art journal. I found it on Amazon and I really liked the natural brown leathery appearance. Plus, hey, it has those dots and apparently that's a big deal in the bullet journaling world, right? I'm gonna tell you a couple things before I start talking about what I'm actually drawing. First, I'll put the links to everything I use below. The markers I'm using are Ohuhu dual-ended markers. One end is for calligraphy, the other end is like a fine liner, I guess, for details. I really like them, so that's what I'm using. The cover page was inspired by Amanda Rach Lee, but as I said, I need to tell you a couple things about what you're about to see not happen in my bullet journal. Because I'm new to this, I felt like I needed to omit a lot of things that people do to set up their year. I just kind of wanted to hop right into February and get the feel for it, do some trial and error for a month, and then when March rolls around, I'm hoping to do maybe the year at a glance thing. I just felt like it would stress me out a little too much to have all of that thrown at me right now. So I just started making my key and then hopping right into the month of February. Before we really take off into this video, I have a question for you. Do you bullet journal, or are you one of those people who are watching this because you're thinking about bullet journaling? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. This, as I said, is my first run through doing a bullet journal in my life. It's very exciting. I'm kind of nervous, but I also feel like it makes me feel more organized, and I already have less anxiety, which is great. I've only been doing this for 6 days, so that's pretty cool. I will say this, after 6 days, I have not once used that key. That has proved absolutely useless to me, and I think I could omit that from my next one. I saw a lot of people doing it, and I don't really feel like it's useful for me. I just feel like those things are common sense, and I don't need to explain it to anybody but myself if it's a bullet journal. I don't know, that's just how I view it. Let me know what you think of keys in your bullet journals. I don't know. The next thing I did was a bucket list. I omitted doing huge things to set up the year, though. For instance, a lot of people do a year at a glance. And I just felt like, well, I'm not starting at the beginning of the year. And I felt like almost overwhelmed with the thought of doing the year at a glance and all this other fancy stuff when I'm just this little newbie starting out. So I wanted to keep it simple, and if I feel more confident with it next month, then maybe I'll do the year at a glance. It'll be out of order, but I feel like I just have to go at my own pace and see what works for me a little bit at a time and just kind of build up to it. So I did a time capsule, and I'm going to write my most important memories there and the dates. Just small highlights. Really excited about that, and I've already added 3 super important things at the beginning of February because my sister-in-law had a baby. I'm so excited about that. Anyway, here I am drawing my cover page for February now. These markers made this so much easier because that brush nib allowed me to do thin and thick lines. And then if I really wanted to do details or drawings, I could flip it over and do that fine liner. So I really enjoyed that for the cover page, especially when I went in and added my little details afterwards. So we all know February is Valentine's Day, and why not be cliche, be festive, do some hearts, do some arrows. That page was incredibly fun to make. I really like the idea of bullet journals because I like the thought of being organized and having my stuff in one place. I usually just buy a planner for that. But I also like the idea of customizing it to something that is more personal for you. So it was really fun to do that, to set my little goals and have a spot for that. And not only that, but to make it artistic, which, as you guys know, I'm an art channel, so that was great. Got the best of both worlds, organization, creativity. So I set up a couple different pages with like things I've seen before. Most of this stuff is what I've seen before, aside from the time capsule and maybe a couple other things. But I thought it would be really important to do the monthly goals. And I thought the mood tracker that people do looked so cool. That actually ended up being my favorite part of this entire bullet journal. I thought it was so fun to make it represent what I felt that month. February is the month that I usually feel the most sad because winter is not over. Why is it not over? Could it please just be over? I wrote down a couple of common emotions that I feel. After this video, I added a couple more though, so they're not all here. But then I decided I'm going to represent my mood with different cacti. So each cactus represents a day of February. And I'm going to color in the cactus with the color that matches the mood I felt. This page took forever to do. It probably took like an hour or an hour and a half, something crazy. And this was when I was almost like discouraged from finishing my bullet journal. But it was also the most enjoyable page, so I felt conflicted, but I knew that I would use this and that it would be worth it. So I just pushed on. I didn't realize how tedious some of these pages can be, but now that I've been using this for almost a week, I realized that all the time you put into this is worth it because it gets used. I mean, if you're diligent, then you use it, and that's so cool. So this is the end result. I believe I added stressed and, I don't remember the other one at the moment. I messed up here and there, and so I had a glue stick on hand, and I would just glue my pages together. If that didn't work because I had a design on the other side of the page, then I would simply use whiteout tape. That worked really well, and I was so happy with the outcome. It blended in with the paper pretty nicely. You could see it, but it wasn't super noticeable. Next, I did a page for YouTube video ideas because obviously YouTube is a large part of my job, so you have to have a page for that, right? Yeah, that page is almost full right now. I have so many ideas, which is why I'm doing like 3 videos a week. Also because I just love you guys. I also decided to do a YouTube growth tracker. A lot of other people have done this that I've seen in videos. And I thought it was really smart because say one day I reached a subscriber goal or something, then I would write that down. And that reminds me to like, hey, I need to do a giveaway soon. Like right now I'm at 50,000. I'm like, hey, I want to do a giveaway soon. You know what I'm saying? So just stuff like that. Because I have a mood tracker and a YouTube growth tracker, I decided it would be smart to do a headache tracker. I am somebody who gets a lot of headaches, a lot of migraines, but I haven't exactly nailed down what causes them. So for the next couple of months, I want to do this headache tracker, and basically I'm recording the date that I get the headache, what foods I ate, what the weather is, if I was driving, and how much sleep I got. Driving, I know, is one thing that triggers migraines, especially in Ohio during the winter when the sun is setting and the sun blinks between the trees. It always messes with me in my peripheral vision and I get a migraine. I'm just speaking for me with the trees and stuff. I don't know if that happens to other people, but that's one thing I've nailed down for my own. That's why I'm excited to do this page though. I just wonder if foods or anything else trigger them as well. So I'm just going to record those things, and then I wrote all is temporary below it because I always get so frustrated when I get headaches, and that's just a nice reminder. Since I'm tracking a bunch of other things too, I decided let's do this habit tracker that other people are doing. We'll see how it goes. Now, I should probably add filling in the habit tracker as one of these things, but yeah, I'm not good at remembering to do this page, so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. I've remembered it a total of like 3 times so far, so I don't know. We'll see. Do you feel like this page is useful for you, and how do you remind yourself to actually fill it in? Because every day I'll like go through this book, but I always skip this page. I don't know why. I really like the idea of this page though. It's really cool. And it's very time consuming to make. Let me tell you what, all those little numbers, I wish I had a stamp or something for each month. You know, they should invent that. I should invent that, you know those little rolly stamps with the date? Like, let's do a huge one that does the months. I would support that. One thing I did notice though was I switched markers for that, so I had to glue the pages together. I think these Ohuhu markers work better for this book rather than whatever fine liner I was trying to use for that page, so I switched back. I decided to do February at a glance. As I said, I omitted the year at a glance thing, so February at a glance was like the next step for me, and it felt like a big deal. It was fun making it, and I messed up making it, but it was like good practice for things in the future, you know? I feel like a lot of this month is just practicing how I'm gonna do this now and getting the feel for it. Yeah! I've used this page a little bit so far, but I feel like I don't have like a ton to put in it. But it's kind of nice because I feel like that's where I'll put my events and stuff, you know, when I am traveling out of town, which I'll be doing for the later half of February. That will be great to know what I'm doing every day or something. Next, I did each day of the week, and this page is used for my work tasks. I like to have a work planner that I refer to throughout my day and cross off important tasks that I need to get done, such as marketing stuff, YouTube stuff, updating my shops, stuff like that. So this is very handy, and this is my most used part of my bullet journal so far. It took a long time, those pages with the lines and everything, but it was definitely worth it. So now I can probably just say bye to my other planner. So long. Anyway, I got a lot of these ideas from other YouTubers like Miranda Byler, Hello Alice. You should check them out. I'll put some links below to their channels. I also looked stuff up on Pinterest and then thought of a couple of these things myself, like the headache tracker. I don't know if people have done that, but yeah. It was really fun to do this. It was a lot more time consuming than I thought, but I feel a lot more confident about it going into March, especially knowing that I've tried some of these pages so far. I didn't want to do this video until I had actually used the book a bit because it just makes sense. But so far the experience is good. If you have anything you'd like to chime in and say, I would love to hear from you. If you're new to the bullet journaling world, hey, join me. We can learn this together. I think it's very worth it to try. As I said, my anxiety has gone down a little bit, and I feel much more organized, and it's only been 6 days, so that's really amazing. I'm very impressed. And yeah, right now I'm just numbering the day of every week and finishing up. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're new, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to make you do it. Have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching and enduring such a long video. Bye, guys.